use that same kitchen sponge to wash your cups for drinking water, drinking tea. Have you noticed that there is this smell you get when you just take the cup if you use the same kitchen sponge? Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You're welcome to another amazing video with me today. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Cassandra. Here we talk about healthy living, amazing food recipes, and meal prepping ideas as well. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 10 common kitchen hygiene mistakes that you might be making. And it is very important that even as we are striving hard to live healthy, we want to improve healthy eating habits, the worst thing that can happen to you while cooking is cooking in a very dirty environment. So let's get straight into the video. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button and join the family. Sometimes we don't know, or sometimes we're just ignorant of the fact that we make these mistakes. And yes, these are mistakes that I've made, or probably I make some of them, but it is important that we learn every day as well. Before we dive straight into the kitchen mistakes, it is important that you understand that when you're trying to make a healthy meal, you have to put a lot of things into consideration. The ingredients that you want to use, the kitchen equipment or utensils that you want to use, the kind of meal that you want to make, the environment, all these things are very important in creating a healthy meal. And imagine after making a sumptuous meal, so tasty, so lovely, and you get food poisoning from it, because food poisoning is real. So let's get straight into number one mistake that you might be making in your kitchen. Number one is not washing your hands properly. Yes, you see these hands, they have the tendency to accumulate germs and bacteria easily because we place our hands on different surfaces almost every time. And some of the most important ways to actually reduce spread of infections from food or contaminated food is through our hands. The way that you wash your hands. How do you wash your hands? You go out in the morning, you come back, you've touched something, you've touched a lot of surfaces, you've probably hugged people, you've touched, and then you come back and you want to make your meal, and then straight, you're hungry, you just move into the kitchen and you start cooking. You don't wash your hands. Or probably you actually wash your hands, but do you wash your hands properly? What is the best way to wash your hands? The best way to wash your hands is under running water with soap. Not just saying, okay, I've washed it. You have to wash, and when you're washing, you make sure that you wash in between your fingers, because these gaps or creases between our fingers, they actually accumulate a lot of dirt sometimes. So you need to wash properly. You have to wash your hands. The general belief most times is, oh, you only get food poisoning when you eat at restaurants. That is actually false. You can get food poisoning at home because you made the food yourself. Second mistake that you're making is not washing produce. And when I say produce, it means not washing your fruits and vegetables, like things that you get from the market, things that you get from the stores. Sometimes we feel that because the market, you see water dripping out from the vegetable that you probably want to get, it is automatically washed. No, do not make that mistake. You're not washing your fruits or vegetables or your produce very well, especially food items that has just been cultivated or harvested from the ground. Imagine eating a soup and there's sand inside. How will you feel? You won't feel good. You won't feel happy about it. So you need to wash this very well. One thing that my mom taught me was, no matter how clean you feel that vegetable is, you get to the market, this vegetable is looking so good. One thing she would always tell is wash under running water. And it is advisable that you actually wash before you slice the vegetables. Some of my favorite ingredients to wash, salt number one, sometimes baking soda, and then sometimes people use white vinegar. But when you're using white vinegar, do not put too much of it, because sometimes it can, will I say, counterattack the taste of the meal that you are making. Number 3 mistake that you're making is cross-contamination. And what is that? It simply means contaminating a food that is okay with a food that is not okay. That is just the way I would explain it. Cross-contamination is simply the physical movement or transfer of harmful bacteria from one person, object, place to another place. So I'm going to be giving us some simple examples of cross-contamination, and this actually happens almost every time, but we do not take note of these things. Number 1 example is touching raw meat. You just got the meat from the market. You touch raw meat and then you use that same hand to touch your vegetable or other ready-to-eat foods without washing your hands first. This is something that we actually do a lot, but we do not even take note of it. And that is the reason why when you notice someone is in the kitchen cooking and you notice she's always washing her hands in between different activities in the kitchen, it's actually very good because you're touching different things. Imagine you're slicing your meat, raw meat, and then you use that same hand without washing it to touch something else that is even ready to eat. That can transfer bacteria or infection from one thing to another. Second example of cross-contamination is when you use a soiled apron or soiled towel in the kitchen to wipe your hands. These towels are dirty and you use it to wipe your hands in between handling different kinds of foods. This can cause a lot of issue. Number 4 mistake you're making is not cleaning kitchen surfaces regularly. No matter how you close your windows, there will always be dust. There will always be surfaces that are dirty. So in the kitchen, you will notice that we always place food items or your chopping boards or your fruits, your vegetables, everything on these kitchen surfaces. If you do not clean them regularly, there will be a problem. With this bacteria, we do not see them with our naked eyes. That's the problem. We do not have that microscopic lens in our eyes. So you need to be careful. Always clean your kitchen surface regularly. One kitchen cleaning method that I use is lukewarm water, little salt, baking soda, mix it together with some dishwashing liquid and clean kitchen surfaces. There are also very good kitchen cleaning surface liquids in the market. You can get them and use them to clean your kitchen surface. It is very important. Number 5 mistake you're making is improper storage. How are you storing your food items? How are you storing foods that you've already prepared? How do you really store them? Let me give you an example. You have freshly made juice. You have some food in the refrigerator that has been there for probably 4 days or 5 days, and then you do not check the temperature of your refrigerator regularly, because there are different temperatures that you can use to make sure that food items in your refrigerator do not get spoiled for longer time. And then you have this meal in your refrigerator. You notice that you've not even checked it in a while. You just made some fresh juice and then you keep it in the refrigerator without even closing your juice properly. Trust me, if that meal has the tendency to get spoiled on time, it's going to affect the juice that you just put in the refrigerator. So you're actually getting food poisoning. Problem. You need to store your foods properly. Store them well. Always use airtight containers to store your meals. Whenever you're making different meals, you know that these meals there are different soups that have tendency to get spoiled on time. And that is why I always prefer freezing my soups. But 6 mistake you're making is not properly heating your food. Hey, this is a mistake we all make. You come back, you're so hungry, sharp, you want to eat. I beg, just want that, just 1 minute. It's okay. No. As long as that food has been in the refrigerator for 2 to 4 days, please make sure that you reheat your meals properly. Now, let me tell you why. If you do not reheat your meals properly, there are some foods that have the tendency of producing some certain bacteria while they are even in the refrigerator, especially if you do not check them, at intervals. Now, you bring out these meals and you do not warm them well. You do not reheat them properly. There will be a problem. I know we've gone through this kind of experience before. You taste the food and it's like, there's something wrong with this meal. You need to reheat your meals well. This is one trick I use. I just love conventional style. Even though I have a microwave, whenever I want to reheat my meals, what I do, I heat them up on my gas cooker first. That is one thing I do. I'll heat them up first, put them in a pan, spread it around, depending on the kind of food that it is. I heat it up there first, and then I put it in the microwave to heat properly. This next mistake that I want to mention, hey, we are all guilty of this mistake. This mistake is you're not washing your dishcloths and sponge. You are not washing it well. Even the kitchen sponge that we use to wash our plates, you're not washing them well. This kitchen sponge, we use them for different kinds of plates. Some plates you use it to make a bar. Some use them to make egg. Some use them to make different kinds of foods. And we all know that different foods have different smell. Now, when you do not wash these kitchen sponges very well or your dishcloths very well, it can create a bad odor in the kitchen, and it can even cause some issues for you. So what do you do? For your dishcloths, make sure that you have different dishcloths. You can have like 4 or 5 for different things. And for kitchen sponge, one thing I found out was, I noticed that if you use the same kitchen sponge that you use to wash your regular plates, everything, you use it to also wash cup. Use that same kitchen sponge to wash your cups for drinking water, drinking tea, drinking smoothies. I don't know, is it just me? Have you noticed that there is this smell you get when you just take the cup if you use the same kitchen sponge? I would advise you to have 2 different kitchen sponge, one for cups and one for plates. I've noticed that it gives your cup this kind of bad smell. I don't know if you guys have tried it. Please let me know in the comments if it's something that you have noticed. So make sure that you wash your kitchen sponge very well. One thing that I usually do is, hot water is amazing. Hot water and salt is amazing. Add some hot water in a bowl. Put your dish washing liquid. Add some salt. Add some baking soda and soak your dishcloths there. Do the same for your kitchen sponge, and notice when you remove it from the water, just take a look at the water. Look at how it is. Sometimes the water can even be slimy. That's crazy. But 8th mistake that you're making, you're not taking out your trash at the end of the day. I caught you. You leave the trash in your kitchen for up to 3 days. Different food items, different food ingredients, all in the same trash, and decomposition is happening. Gas is being released. Different things can happen, and you do not take out your trash at the end of the day. Listen, unless you are living in a 10-story building that you cannot come down, which I still see as an exercise, on a more serious note, it is important that you take out the trash at the end of the day. If you cannot do that, the next morning, first thing in the morning, take it out. A lot of things can build up in your trash. And please, not just taking out the trash. Do you wash your trash bin? I want you right now, after watching these videos today, I want you to go to your kitchen and take a look at everything in your kitchen and do a deep cleaning. Number 9 mistake that you're making is not washing your hands after handling pets. So pet lovers, you have a cat, you have a dog, you have a parrot, you have pigeon, you have goat, you have cow, you have lion. Come closer. You're handling pets because you do not know where they've been to. Even if you know where your pets have been to, even if your pets don't go out of the house, even if no matter what, you're touching them, you're hugging them, you're kissing them, and after everything, you want to go into the kitchen to make some meal and you've not washed your hands properly, please stop it. Stop it. Wash your hands. At this point, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I know that this video is interesting and you're already learning a lot about it. Before we go into the last mistake that you're making, my recipe book is available for download. All you need to do is check the description box and it is linked right there. The dinner recipe book contains 7 amazing recipes for you and you're going to love it. So let's go straight into number 10. The last one is you're not replacing kitchen sponges frequently. I intentionally left this for number 10. That kitchen sponge that you use to wash your plates, you're not replacing them frequently. Let me tell you, we all make these mistakes. You must replace. If you are prone to forget such things, please have a journal where you write them down and keep them somewhere in your kitchen where you would always see it. I try to replace my kitchen sponge at least every 2 weeks. You know why? We use this kitchen sponge to wash a lot of things. A lot of things. Especially if you are someone who cooks all the time. Please change them. The kind of odor, hey, that can come from that kitchen sponge, it's not good. This can build up bacteria and cause contamination in your food. Last thing that you want is to get food poisoning. If you've never experienced food poisoning, please don't even think that, oh, let me see how it is. No, you don't need to see how it is. It is really, really bad. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video and tell me your favorite mistakes here. Not like they are your favorite, but which of these mistakes really resonated with you that you feel that you really need to do better. We're not here to judge anyone. We all make these mistakes, but we need to actually improve. It's better to have a beautiful environment where you cook your meals, a healthy environment, and of course, tasty meals. So do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, share this video, and I'll see you in my next video. I love you.